Welcome to another episode of
PLOPP Life, show 15.
Show 15. Welcome
15.
to People Love Other People's Problems.
Right.
Number 15, 1-5. That's who we are on.
We got problems.
We got problems. All the problems in the world could not make us quit.
Right.
Tonight's topic is don't quit.
Don't quit.
Tonight you're liable to see anything because we're going to be tested on that exact subject. Don't quit. And we're not going to quit. Are we going to quit?
Nope.
No.
You know who that is?
No.
Tell the people your name because they want to know.
It's
You
your
can
boy.
get introduced before we do.
Right.
I love
Well, that's
it.
cool.
That's very cool.
What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Alex Wakeen, AWE in the building.
Come on, Alex.
Y'all.
My name is Deshon. Oh, my shit sound plain compared to this. He was like, yo, and I'm like, my name is
You gotta have it ready, you know?
Where's your intro? Well, I'm
We
Deshon
need to
Gray.
do
I
that,
guess
right?
I'm not, guess I wasn't coming to the stage.
Is the
Oh,
air
Lord. I know we
It is?
It's on.
Oh, Jesus.
It's been hot all
You
day,
having
though.
a flag?
It has.
It
Yes,
is
been hot.
yes, it's a
I done blew up in
flash.
LA.
Compounded with everything else. Yeah, this ain't him.
What's your name down there, hot girl?
Hot, right? Louisiana hot girl. Louisiana hot sauce.
Hot
Shout out
girl.
from Louisiana.
Right.
Hot sauce.
Sacha.
Your name's
Granger.
Sacha. Sacha,
Yes.
tell the people on Instagram
Yes.
and Facebook over here. Say yoo-hoo.
Woo.
She right there.
Woo,
She
I'm
right
here.
there.
The
And you
girl
too.
right
there.
here.
Hey.
Oh, and
There
you.
she go.
Right.
There she go. You know what I forgot to say last week, and I want to say this week. Happy Pride Month to everybody. who
Happy
celebrates
Pride.
Month.
And you know what? And I know that it is like normally reserved for like gay and people and lesbians, whatever. Not, but I just say be proud of whatever you proud of.
Whatever you want
As
to be.
long as, and what a part of, I think the thing about being proud of whatever it is, as long as you're not being proud as in opposition to somebody else, just being proud for yourself.
Facts.
That's okay.
For sure.
That's all right.
That's
and
all right.
Also, guess what, Sacha?
What?
Tonight, Pole starts again.
Does it?
She loves Pole.
Oh my
I
gosh,
do too.
I binge watched
Yes,
those,
first
like,
episode tonight on Effects
I
at
think
10
2
p.m.
weeks ago.
I
Oh,
should
right.
get paid for that.
I better tell them cut that check.
Cut the check.
Cut the check. Cut the check.
But we do want to welcome everybody to Plop.
Everyone.
We want to also welcome. Well, not welcome. We want to make sure that we are shouting out a Plizzle. A plus.
Who is that?
A plus. That
Who
fine
is
chocolate
that?
man over there with the
It
I gave him a
is.
hug. He said his hair is
He
wet, and I was
is.
like, "Well, Sacha's the one who be in your hair."
I know. I'm always
So he washed it
smelling
for you, girl. He shampooed it for you, girl.
I appreciate
You didn't even
it.
get no sniff.
Ooh, that
Go
didn't,
sniff his hair.
That didn't sound right.
Can we start the conversation expeditiously?
Yes,
okay.
expeditiously.
Let's hurry on up.
I love it. Okay, what's we gonna do tonight? Well, listen, if you wanna, I'm doing a little backwards. If you wanna see us, go on to YouTube,
Yeah.
Right.
Facebook,
Right.
Yeah.
Instagram,
Yes.
and also give them your Instagram so they can, Alex, so they can see us on there too.
My Instagram is @Awaken Dog. That's AWKNDAWG. Awaken Dog.
Awaken dog.
So you can see us on all those particular platforms at Awaken Dog or Plop Life. How about that?
All that.
Or you can
Right.
you can hear us on
Uh-huh.
Spotify. Still on iTunes. iTunes ain't gone yet.
Not yet.
And
Spreaker as well.
yeah. You said wait, what? You didn't know iTunes was?
I didn't know iTunes was.
Well, they're changing it to Apple Music. They're splitting it all up into 3 different things.
no.
They
They
want
are.
your coins.
Yeah, they do.
They do. And then
If you want to speak to us, and
come on,
speak
there
to
we go. 'Cause
Alex
I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
something
this evening,
missing. What's the hotline, Sacha?
you can give us a call at 310-910-9676, extension numero uno.
A numero.
Right.
Unto.
Call in. Call in. Call
Please
in.
call in.
Call in.
We love to hear from you.
For
We
sure.
do.
And again, tonight's special guest and also third host for tonight is Alex Wakeen.
Yeah.
Come on, Alex.
The song singing debonair. Am I getting all the right stuff? He cut the check and I forgot what all he told me to say. Let me get all the adjectives right. The curls is popping.
Oh
Right.
yeah. Oh, thank you.
You hear me?
Thank you.
The
Thank
You know what
top.
I'm saying? A plus,
Thank
you
you.
got
The
some.
top
A
is
plus, you
hot.
got some. You got
I
some
love
competition with
it.
the
Yeah,
hair.
thank you.
Ain't
Now
that-
he can have the locks, you know. I'm
got
not,
a lock?
yeah, I can't.
Really?
That's a big commitment. That's a big
It
commitment.
is.
So what are you
And
saying,
his is so neat
Alex?
too.
I'ma just let the Lord do what
Okay.
he does.
Let the Lord use your hair.
But we don't have commitment issues in other areas.
No,
Oh,
absolutely
okay.
not.
Okay. All right.
This is the longest my hair ever been.
Really?
For sure.
But
It
it's
is?
beautiful though.
Yes.
So that means you know what you didn't do? You didn't quit.
Right.
He didn't quit on that hair. He didn't quit on that.
Yes.
He didn't quit on that shampooing. He didn't quit on the conditioner.
Yup.
He didn't quit on not cutting it.
The
and
leave-in
giving up.
conditioner.
Believe.
Yup.
You
All
got to
that.
believe and achieve
You
if you
got-
want to receive them curls. You understand?
Is that what we're doing? That's where we're
That-
going to see.
I think that's the
Yes.
direction we going.
That's the subject
That's
tonight.
the
Don't
direction we
quit.
going. Don't quit. Okay.
I was about to go.
What's your random? You got a random anything? I have
Well, I was
something
gonna give
random.
the little blessings, but I
Were
was
you?
like every time we go into the time to go to the blessings, I always we be random, girl. Cause I always be like, damn, how you segue it to just think us? I mean, you know, giving positive energy for somebody's passing. So let's do something random. I pre-warned Alex tonight about random
he
because
did?
normally
Oh.
times
Yeah.
some they be like, I don't know,
I ain't
I
done
don't.
none
Some
of
people do though. They get into it though.
Oh,
It's
yeah, we
fine.
gonna see-
But
it's
what's your
anything.
random tonight? It do
My
feel like ain't no air
random
on, child. I feel like
is-
I am burning up. Do you
Doesn't
understand
it?
me? I hope this makeup and this crayon don't melt up off my face. Because I put Sharpies and everything on my butt tonight. I sure did.
Well.
Crayons and
It's a fool,
Crayola
it's a
and pens
fool.
and ink and all everything else.
Hey.
Well, for my random, and whoever is listening, you know that I'm talking about you.
It's supposed to be random, but she.
But it is. It's,
Subliminal.
it's a
I love
random
it.
subliminal.
Subtweet. It's a subtweet.
Right. So, my random is I need people to just judge people based upon their character.
Oh.
Period. I had someone who contacted me, a friend who was in town. And he was like, yeah, I'm going to the club this weekend, blah, blah. Why don't you come through? I'm like, it depends. I'll see how I'm feeling. But then his next line was, make
What's the next
sure
line?
if you coming, bring somebody that's cute. Don't bring nobody that's ugly with you.
You have ugly friends?
Well, but for me, first of all, I don't call anybody ugly.
Thank
I
you.
just
Oh,
don't.
come
I
on.
never
That's
have.
right.
That's just the practice that I've
I told you
always
she's
done.
upstanding.
I'm not. I
She
try to be.
I tried to
No,
warn
I
you.
really try
This
to
is
be.
No, I'm being silly because he asked me. He was like, "Can we cuss on here tonight?" I said,
Yeah,
"Well,
you
I said, well,
can.
she
I
don't
won't.
cuss." I said, "But I cuss."
No.
She's upstanding. You understand?
I'm right
That's
in
Mary
between.
Poppins.
I'm right in between. You see, I'm
No,
good.
if you catch me privately with this conversation that I told him, I
It'll be
used a couple of expletives.
Come
to get the
on.
point across.
Oh yeah, go ahead with your random. Sorry.
I did. But, it was the fact that he said, and I don't even know if this is just because it's LA, but for you to have to say, bring someone who is cute and not nobody who's ugly, that's so offensive.
Very.
Because if you're friends with someone, first of all, if I'm friends with you, it don't matter who I bring. They should be
Right.
welcome no matter what. And we too old to be concerned with a publicity stunt or,
Come on.
acceptance and trying to be in a certain circle. Friends are
Well-
friends no matter what you look like, no matter
sure.
who you are, no matter what you believe in, no matter your sexuality. But I just thought that was so shallow of him. So
Right.
anybody listening, if you shallow, we can't be friends.
We can be.
And I need you to stop.
No.
Just LA, period. Just stop judging people.
You know
Well,
that's
if you're not
LA
cute, you
stuff,
can't
now,
come.
now.
But even with it being LA
Are y'all
stuff, would it be LA stuff? Like, when do you grow up past that? Like, what
Right.
about
This
even
is
an
in
adult?
high school.
Well,
To some it is.
Okay.
for some it is. What's your random Alex Wakeen?
My random is just, I want people to allow artists to just be free. And like, not let them think that they have this to be in a certain way
Okay.
in order to make it. It's kind of like when you find your own way, like go with it and stick with your gut. Don't worry about what everybody else is doing.
Make your
That
own
makes
lane.
sense.
Make your own
Don't
way.
be cookie
That
cutter.
makes
Yeah,
sense.
because for sure. Because the more you try to resemble somebody else, the longer your actual process is going to start, and the longer it's going to take you to reach your actual goal.
That's
Okay.
true. I like that.
So just
we like that. Come on, for being prepared with your random video.
Right, with the positivity.
And that was positive too. I got something. I think it's positive.
What you got?
Let me replay it on my headphones. Okay, fine. My random event is really about being used, and most times I know people are so quick to be like, you know what? When somebody's opposing you or something like that, and you be like, oh, you know, the devil's just using you because you know God uses people as well. But whether it's the devil or whether it's God or whether it's whomever, in order to, you can't write that off because there's still some accountability on the person that you're trying. Because in order to be used, you must be usable.
Ooh.
Well.
So don't just write off and say, oh yeah, well, you know, that's just being used by someone such, because, you know, you can have an ink pen, but if I need an ink pen to do, I can have the ink pen, I can use the ink pen to either write something a blessing to you or to curse you out. Yeah. But if the pen don't work, it can't be used.
That's true.
Come on, analogy.
Be a working situation to be used, okay?
Be used.
Let me tell you, okay? That's what that was. But,
yes, indeed.
In order to, what's so funny, girl? What is it? What is
I'm
it?
just saying.
What is it? What is it? You got a comment over there, girl? A comment, question, or concern?
I'm good. I'm good.
I thought somebody was saying something to you online.
No, not as of yet.
No?
No.
Well, let me tell you something.
Talk about it.
In other news.
So what we going to cover today, Deshon Gray?
Well, what are we going to cover today, Sacha Granger? In the flip and rotate portion of our show is Miss Maya Vizcarrondo Rios.
Yes.
This is the young lady who is 16 years old. This is the flip. Well, first of all, the flip and rotate portion of our show is where we'll do that a little bit later, but it is a part where we talk about we elaborate on some of the current news events or hot topics, and this is a big virtual green sofa. You saw the logo, it look like a sofa? Yeah. Okay. So everybody who's listening either tonight, tomorrow, next week, or next year, you're all on the big sofa with us, and sometimes you got to clean that sofa up. So you got to flip the pillows and rotate them. And you find some things that you didn't know you was looking for. You found some things you was looking for, and you just flip it over, and it's clean, and it's a new sofa again.
For sure.
So in that particular segment, we're going to talk about Maya Vizcarrondo Rios. And you'll find out who this young lady is. And we'll talk about Michael Perrin, who is also another young child that we will discuss. And also, we're going to talk about what the hell going on in the Dominican Republic.
Right, in the DR.
What's going on in the Dominican Republic?
I don't know.
So I don't know. That's another co-host.
We got another special guest.
We do.
I'm not even a special guest.
Yeah,
that's a whole nother guest. Yeah.
Because we're not quitting today.
That's right.
We're not gonna quit.
We're not.
But that is the segment that we were talking about those particular subjects in. But we do have a little bit of things that we talk about in our little news segment. And in the news segment, we're gonna. Well, you know what? Listen, who probably needs to quit is this whole situation with Nicole Curran, who is the wife of the Warriors owner.
Oh my gosh, it's sickening.
Did you see this video?
Stop.
And who needs to quit? Let me tell you something. Don't get me wrong, and I don't need no buzz and bees on my, because I will send them right back to your asses. Understand that, because I'm down for Beyonce too, but I'm not down for her to the point where I'm ready to threaten somebody's life behind a video that you don't know what the hell's going on inside.
You certainly don't.
So just to give people a little backstory, this Nicole Curran, who is the wife of and her husband, who's the wife of the owner of the Warriors, invited, I'm about to say Beyonce. Jay-Z,
well, same thing.
Jay-Z and Beyonce to a Warriors game. She said she invited them about 4 or 5 times. They finally came, and she was taking, well, what people don't realize is that at this particular game, they don't have courtside drink service. So she wanted to make sure that her guests had the drinks, whatever. Beyonce said she wanted water, and apparently Jay-Z wanted some vodka, and he wanted a lime, and she asked him, and she said yes. So she's talking to him across her, which I don't think was anything wrong with, but I guess the look on Beyonce's face or whatever the video, I mean, I don't know. People took from that she was annoyed. And
they analyzed.
Way overanalyzed, and they went in too hard. And we've been talking about this actually for the past few weeks about how people just go hard for these artists that they don't know you, you don't know them, but you're ready to take somebody's life behind something that you don't even know what's going on. I think it's ridiculous.
No,
you have crazy fans like that, Alex?
Yes.
You do?
No.
I was like, really?
I'm not.
Sorry.
I ain't got that crazy yet.
This
Not
lady
yet.
said
It's
she
gonna
had to
happen.
disable her Instagram account because that's how bad it got. And then she said she woke up and her people was texting like, "Are you okay?" It was horrible.
Oh, that's deep.
Yeah, it was really extreme.
I think this, yeah.
But I don't know. I don't understand. I've never been a crazed fan of someone like
Me
that.
either.
Ever.
Me either.
And even when I've seen them in person, I've never just lost it over someone because I don't know. For me, I'm just like, I'm human just like you.
That's right.
You don't do nothing different. You just got a little bit more money in that bank account.
That's it.
A little bit more notoriety.
It's coming.
Because I'm not quitting.
Don't quit. Don't quit.
We're going to keep
Don't
going
quit.
back to that. But yeah, I thought it was ridiculous
It is
how
ridiculous.
people make these, again, they overanalyze the situation, not even knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
But they go hard for Beyonce.
I mean, it's. I mean, I saw even like people talking about. Oh, I mean, they really refer to her as if she's their queen.
Right.
Queen.
Right.
And I mean, I know that's like, that's like an ode to hip hop where you like always call yourself the best and I'm the top of this,
Right.
whatever the case may be. But I mean, that's an extreme because she's not your queen.
Yeah.
Not in that sense.
So
I mean, you
what
have to give your
happened-
life for her.
Did she? And she never addressed the fanatics, right?
Well, her publicist today had posted something, a throwback picture of Beyonce and Jay-Z from their concert from last year,
Okay.
saying, all the fans, please remember that this On the Run tour was all about unity and love and da-da-da-da-da. That don't mean shit to the people. That don't mean nothing. It means nothing.
What is
They
that?
don't.
She didn't. Although her publicist spoke, she didn't address the
Be
specific
nice.
issue.
That's what she said, basically.
Be nice.
Oh, that's
Y'all
it?
be nice and posted a picture of them. But I think it would be more poignant if it came from your queen.
Of course.
I think it would make more sense if it came from your queen.
Why didn't
That
she
would
say
make-
anything?
Well, I don't know.
Maybe it didn't bother her.
What to bother her, but she knows that
But you
it's
see what
it's
everyone else is
trending.
doing, right?
This lady's life was like, she felt like it was
They
in jeopardy.
threatened her.
They threatened her. Like, it's serious, straight up. And you can't take it in this day and age where people doing mass shootings. You can't take that kind of stuff lightly.
No, you can't.
And you really can't take that kind of stuff lightly, and it's really ridiculous to me. But what I will say this, she's invited them, and as a gracious host, you want to make sure that your guests are taken care of. But also, it could have been the fact that she got Beyonce and Jay-Z sitting next to her. She might have been nervous.
Right.
I mean,
She
the
could
first
have
time
been.
I actually seen this woman, I seen Beyonce in person, I backed up. I promise you. Because it's just that you see that kind of, you just like, oh my God. But then you kind of come to whatever. But she was probably, all kind of things could have been going on. I don't think that she was using that opportunity during the playoffs next to her husband with the quadrillion cameras watching to hit on somebody's husband.
No.
I just don't think.
No, it
she's
makes
comfortable.
No sense. No.
I don't think she's living in the sense of she needs to get something else from somebody. I just don't. But anyway.
Next.
Next.
In other news,
In other news. I love that.
You know.
There was a story I was looking at about in France. There is a movement, of course, of the Me Too movement, and who was started by a woman by the name, I'll get her name in a minute, but she was Sandra Muller, and she is a journalist, and she started a hashtag Me Too movement in Paris, and what actually is called, I don't speak French, so don't nobody try to be,
No.
okay, you gonna say it? Okay, you got it, girl?
I don't. That's all. I don't really know much. I promise I don't. My dad, though, he surprises me. He does know.
I think it's called Balance to Port, something like that. Anyway, it's yeah. Oh, you know French?
Well, come
Come on!
Come on,
Help me out!
But I didn't hear about this movement. Balance, what?
Look at her. Who
I don't want to say it again after hearing that.
I know.
You made me look like a complete
Come on,
idiotic fool.
speak it to this mic.
But I'm not gonna quit, so it's called Balance. How do you say your?
Ton
Thon or something like that?
Le mien.
No, like
Ton,
your.
ton.
Okay,
Ton,
thon.
ton.
And how do you say pig?
Pig.
Mm-hmm.
Cochon.
Okay, say it together.
Like a pig.
Pig.
Ton cochon.
Okay, say that all together.
Ton cochon.
No, the whole word balance. I mean, Balance. Is it balance?
Balance ton cochon.
There you go. That's
Balance ton cochon.
Look at the see.
Balance
And
ton
Who was that
cochon.
speaking? No, I need to know who was that speaking.
What's your name? Tell the people your name.
Come on.
My name is Aurélie Ponsin.
And she's so gorgeous. You got to get her on this camera.
man.
You want people to see you?
Yeah.
Well, come around here by us.
yeah.
She is gorgeous. Huh?
She
But
really
it translates to squeal on your pig.
Oh, is that what it means?
Huh?
Yeah.
Interesting.
There she go. You see that gorgeousness? And that's
Hello.
what's over there. Everything.
Right.
Everything. I sure wish we can get some. Can we get some? I'm about to. I'm having a flash. I'm having a flash. A plus. I'm about to flash when I'm out of here, child. I don't want to come
It's
out my clothes.
getting.
I don't want to come out of my
You
clothes
can't
in
quit.
here.
You better.
I'm not gonna
We
quit.
got a whole show.
I'm gonna quit this dress in a minute. But
No,
anyway,
ma'am.
she is a French journalist, and she started what Orly just said.
Beautifully.
Beautifully, honey. She started the movement over there because a television producer, rich man by the name of Eric Brion, one night they were having at an event. They were having drinks, and it was late, and they were getting drunk. And he told her, "You have big breasts. You are my type of woman, and I can make you orgasm all night."
That's what he told her?
Yes, he did.
Wow.
And so the next day,
This was out? They were out.
they were out at a
Okay.
bar.
At a
I guess
bar.
it wasn't, well, he's a producer, she's a journalist, so there wasn't a work event, but it was a situation I guess they were both at.
Okay.
And so she said, the next day he was like, "Oh my God, I
had too many drinks.
Yes, and he sent her an apology text, but
I'm
she
sorry.
did not respond to it. So what he did was he took out a full-page ad in the newspaper, and he apologized to her. Mm-hmm.
Oh, did he?
Yes, he apologized to her. He said, wait a minute, hold on. He said, I said inappropriate remarks to her. He said they were drinking, and it only happened once. He apologized to her profusely.
He took out an ad?
And a
In the
full-page
paper.
ad in the newspaper.
People really. The newspaper.
Okay.
He did.
Apologizing profusely?
Profusely, honey.
Okay.
Because he texted the next day when he realized what happened, and she was like not
And she
responding.
didn't respond. Okay.
But she did respond. She responded with a subpoena. They had to go to court.
I'm sorry. Just stop that.
Well, so
You gotta watch
subpoena
what
is
you
for-
say. You have to watch what you
you
say.
do.
The subpoena's for.
Because she said she was sexually harassed, and she went on Twitter.
Is that
and said that-
sexual harassment?
Come on,
though?
girl. She said she went on Twitter and said she was sexually harassed at work.
Wait. A+, you're nodding your head. You're saying that's sexual harassment?
That's sexual harassment?
You have big. What did he tell her? You have big boobs.
He
and-
said you have big breasts. You are my type of woman, and I will make you orgasm all night.
Is that sexual harassment?
It can be deemed inappropriate to a woman.
What do you
subjective.
think? Was it sexual harassment? What he said?
Well, I think it's verbally sexually harassing someone,
Okay.
but not a sexual harassment.
Okay. So it could be deemed definitely inappropriate. Well,
He
is
said it only happened at one
inappropriate
time.
If Idris Elba was telling me that.
See?
Is it inappropriate? Does it depend on who
I
it's
saw
coming
somebody
from?
post that before, and they said the difference between
I'm glad you made that point.
the difference between sexual harassment and seduction is Idris Elba and Flavor Flav.
Because everybody's thirsty. Every guy is thirsty until the guy that you're interested in
Right.
makes the same move. And,
Right.
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 he was
That's what
aggressive. He was assertive, and blah blah blah.
Right. So I'm just wondering that. So this. Not to diminish the movement, not to diminish people who have been sexually harassed, but
At
I mean,
all.
how
We're just talking about
do
this
you-
one particular situation.
Right?
Mhm.
Could it be because I've had, not saying it was right, or maybe I just have tough skin, but I've had some men say some pretty wild things. Yeah. But it wasn't to where I was so offended that, oh my gosh, I'm filing a sexual harassment claim, and I just said what I have to say. If you bold enough to tell me that, well, let me tell you how I feel.
Mm-hmm.
And then that
That's
was
right.
it. We just nipped that in the bud. And not to come at me like that no more. But I don't need to file any type of legal action.
There's no ounce or a tad bit of flattery with some of the comments?
Depending on what's
It depends on, right. It depends
depends
on
on
who's
who.
coming from.
That's what it is.
If it's,
And that's the,
if
but
it's
that's the
interest-
scary gray area. That's the
That's
scary
what-
gray
but-
area for everybody, for every other man that's not Idris.
But it's so
Like-
funny. It's so funny
Because it's like they could be pushing that line. It's like right there, but they don't know. And if they say that one thing, you could tip over, and it's like boom.
It's so funny that you guys say that about the difference between doing the gray area because the story continues.
Okay,
So
I'm sorry.
he goes into court. No, y'all fine. He goes into court and he says he's now suing her.
Really?
Yes, because he goes into court and he says her violence against him has not ever stopped because
What?
of her tweet saying that she was sexually harassed at work, and he says we don't work together. And they don't work together. He said he was in court. He said, I would rather be tried in the court of justice than the court of social media. Because social media tore his ass up.
I'm sure
And
they
so,
did.
and so he's suing her because he's like, well, she wasn't harassed at work. And she went on Twitter and said this stuff. And now, you know, A, B, and C is going on. He said, so he said you can't, and his lawsuit is based on, he said you cannot blame a man for making himself guilty of an offense when that's not the case.
Okay, I agree with. Well, Crystal said that it was inappropriate and
Mm-hmm.
disrespectful, but not harassment. She thinks that was far fetched.
Yeah, and so what they're saying is that there is no gray zone. As we were talking about the gray zone.
Oh, really?
They're saying there is no gray zone between harassment and seduction.
Really?
Women are already fearful of retaliation, and the defamation suits are only going to compound their fear. So when he went to court for her, that was in December. So he's suing her, and he started suing her in January.
Really?
Yeah, so we'll see how that turns out.
Yeah, but that'll be interesting to see how that turns out.
Eric Maurice Clark said that is very far-fetched. That's very far-fetched, Eric.
I mean, yeah, I would say, and for me, I don't know. I think women probably need to speak. I would like to know, what did she tell him after he told her that? Right.
I mean,
were you
that
quiet
would be
and you
too.
just let it ride, and he apologized and you still didn't say anything? Like, what happened in the moment?
Well,
You just
this
let
is-
him
but
say that
this-
and that was it?
I'm not against women speaking up. I think absolutely you should. I think you should not be harassed. However, I have to look at it like this. If we are all out right now and we just go out to the bar and we just getting toe up, toe down.
Right.
And we go in there and Magic Johnson's in there or somebody who's prominent and he say something, flip it off to one of the ladies. Do you sue him for sexual harassment? We're not at work. We don't work together. We're just in a bar together.
Right.
So while it is inappropriate, maybe inappropriate, you know, it's not sexual harassment at work.
No, that's not.
It's not the same
not at
thing.
work. No.
So, anyway.
That's deep.
So I'm wondering though, is this going to open the doors for that type of thing to where if it is someone that you know, you don't work with, they say something inappropriate, sexual, can I sue you? Is that the direction we're going in?
Well, last year Jeffrey Rush sued an Australian newspaper because one of his co-stars in a movie, and I should get the names correctly, but he was suing them. He sued the newspaper because they put out a story saying that he sexually harassed his co-worker. He touched her inappropriately when they were, promoting the film or whatever, on her breast and on her behind, and he followed into her to the bathroom and he started sending her lewd text messages. Now, I guess she said that happened, and the newspaper published it without any, I guess, statement from him or any court case, whatever. He sued the newspaper and won $2 million. And the lady who said he said that happened to, she said it did happen. Where's the text message that says?
Nothing.
Show me the facts.
Where's the receipt?
Show me the facts.
That's what they say. That's what they say at Target and Walmart. Where's your receipt, please?
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have your receipt?
You have your credit card that you use? Anything? That's it. But we do want to send our prayers to the family of Bushwick Bill.
Yeah.
Who passed away Sunday? Was it Sunday? Sunday he passed.
Yeah.
Was it Sunday? Yeah, 2 days ago. Sunday he was 52.
He was.
That's where the Ghetto Boys came in at.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was 52, and we have been talking about him for the past few weeks too, just really praying for his situation with his cancer result. but he was fighting for his life.
He was.
And
he
I
had
was
cancer.
Yeah, I was reading the story, and it was like his son. I guess he has a son, Javon, and he said his son Javon was there when he took his last breath, and his son Javon said his last words to him was, "I will love you always."
Oh, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
That is.
He had the situation where there was like janky promoters or whatever trying
Yes.
to make money off of
Yes, with the
sickness.
tour.
What I mean, what's the deal with that right now?
Well, he's passed away, so.
So okay, all right.
But he pulled away from that before he even passed away.
He
Was
did.
this-
Remember he was
supposed to
going
be
to do his
like
own tour called Fuck Cancer?
Right.
Was it supposed to be
With
like a
the PA?
fundraiser or something to help his situation? Or
No, I
what?
think
Well,
he
no,
was
he
just
was
going
going
on.
to donate the funds.
Oh, yeah.
that he made from the tour.
Right.
His own tour.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But he didn't want to be used. I guess he said if I'm gonna use my situation, I'm gonna use it for my benefit, not for y'all.
Right.
Which makes more sense.
Mm-hmm. It does.
You know. But even up until the end, he didn't quit. Obviously, 'cause
Didn't
he was
quit?
He was planning on a tour.
He was ready to
He
work.
That's a good thing.
Yeah.
But who needs to quit is the police. Police need to stop killing people. This is horrible. LA police, LA. I mean, come on now, y'all. This
State
is-
police,
It's really ridiculous.
World police.
Come on. And this past week, Ryan Twyman, right here in Los Angeles by the LAPD, was sitting in his car at his friend's home off in Willowbrook, and his hands were up visibly and out the window, and the police let off 30 rounds,
30.
reloaded their guns, and kept shooting.
Why? What was their excuse?
And
They
the-
said because.
Well, you know what the crazy part about it is? No statements been given because there's no media coverage on it.
Really?
There's no media coverage on it.
Except
You
for
gotta look
social
for it,
media
Except for
coverage.
social media. And so I guess this is one of the times where you have to depend on social media for news because this was going on. And then his girlfriend was there. She witnessed
Really?
it. They beat her up and arrested her. And she just witnessed it. So we want to send our prayers to his family as well. He was only 24. He just turned 24, I think, 2 days before that.
Oh.
Yeah. Can we go to a song?
We can't.
Matter of fact, since we on this topic,
Come on. That's
yeah,
whose voice. What's your
let's
name
get it.
again? Tell the people your name,
Wakeen.
Alex.
what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Alex Wakeen, AWE in the building.
Was that
You gotta-
harassment or seduction? Oh, was that harassment or seduction?
Wow.
Do you feel
I think
harassed or you
no.
feel seduced?
I feel calm, cool, and collected. You feel me? You feel me?
He told me he don't want to say nothing to get him in
You
no
know,
trouble.
I'm trying to go to sleep tonight.
That's what he said.
Anyway, back to the song.
Go
so
ahead.
This first record is called Black Lottery.
Okay.
And it's just my view on what's going on. It was it started as a poem and it just evolved into just a work of art. And since we're on this, I want y'all to hear. So here we go, Black Lottery.
Oh,
This
Alex
back
Wakeen.
black,
Alex
and then we're gonna
Wakeen.
come back and talk to Alex Wakeen. Woo! Break time.
And that song was by our guest, Alex Wakeen, called Black Lottery.
Yeah.
Black
Oh,
Lottery.
Yeah.
I love it. Alex Wakeen, this your section right here.
Oh yeah.
boo.
Let's,
You
now
ready?
We talking. Oh
You
yeah,
ready?
I'm always ready. What's up?
Now,
Alex
if y'all
Wakeen.
want to talk
Go
to
ahead.
Alex, give us a call at 310-910-9676, extension number 1.
That's right.
Talk.
Alex Wakeen, tell the people where you from.
I'm from Inglewood, California.
Wow.
Born and raised, baby.
Inglewood?
Woo,
Yeah.
blah, woo. That's what
City
Claire
of
be
Champions,
saying.
baby.
City of Champions.
City of Champions, right down the freeway.
Inglewood.
I love it.
Yeah.
What got you into singing?
Well, I grew up in the church, so I was always
on, church.
in the church choirs and stuff. But I wasn't the one in the front. I was just in the choir, you know.
You weren't pantomiming in there.
No. I was
okay.
really singing. But it wasn't until about 6th grade when a girl told me like, "Oh, you can sing," and I did.
So a girl inspired you to get in
For
front of that microphone.
For sure.
We have the power to do that.
For sure.
do.
Made you feel
And I
special.
did a talent show, and then
Uh-huh.
I just felt good about myself, so I just
Oh.
said I was a singer, and I just been working ever since. Trying
You
to get
haven't
better.
quit.
No, I haven't.
Right.
I love
been a long-
it. What was the first song that you? What was your first solo?
My first,
You remember your first solo? You gotta
my
remember your first
my
solo.
very first solo. To be honest with you,
Uh-huh.
it was at church once again.
Okay.
And
Oh,
it was "This Means War."
Mm,
Yeah, I sung "This Means War" at church.
Remember
really?
your first solo?
Yeah,
This means war.
yeah. This means war.
By who? Who sang that song?
Not-
Fast song?
Huh?
Is it fast song?
This means war.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was my first solo.
Wonderful.
And then now I'm here.
Do you do what genre of music do you do?
I consider it soulful trap.
Soulful trap
music.
Yeah.
You hear that you want to hear some soulful music, but you
Right.
want to feel like you in the trap?
Yeah.
Right.
Alex, Wakeen.
So it's the
How do you define soulful trap?
So it's the message. It's an underlining message of always being soulful. So like
Okay.
how soul music, it gives you a message. It makes you feel some type of way.
Okay.
And
It
it's the
does.
trap implemented as far as instrumentation and just different sounds, but always like you can bounce to it. It's some
So
type
that
of
beat.
yeah.
Okay. Oh, soulful. That's
Yeah,
different.
so not biting off of nobody's style.
Right.
You know, I'm working
Creating your own lane.
Yeah, for sure.
I love it.
For sure.
The last song that we just heard, Black Lottery, was
Mm-hmm.
that message was actually very poignant, right on time. And I know the answer to this already, but I'd like for you to say, what was your inspiration for that music, for that song? You wrote that song?
Yeah, I wrote that. I wrote
Okay.
that. So the inspiration at the time, I wrote it a couple years ago.
Oh, you did?
Yeah. So it's been just in the works. I started writing it. I was in the army.
Oh, you in the armed forces?
Yes, I was. Yes.
Okay.
And a group out here in the city called Tough Crowd, they did a challenge on Instagram
Okay.
called the Black Lottery Challenge, and they were just ripping and spitting their poems. And I reached out to Holla, and I said, hey, can I use this? Can I write a piece? And he said, yeah. And I wrote it, and I sent it to him, and he was like, I love it, bro.
Yes.
So I kind of went out there. So shout out to Holla, shout out to Tough Crowd. You know, y'all gave me Black Lottery. And
I love it too.
Another, you stated that you write yourself.
Yes.
So what's your creative process? Give us a little rundown, like how you get inspired to write different things and what touches you to go and, write about particular subjects.
Well, I'm inspired by art, period. So anything dealing with art, whether it's music, whether it's fashion, whether it's TV, whether it's film, whether it's just you being you, I'm inspired by it. A lot of the stuff I pull from my own personal life, and I tap into certain places, relationship, dibble and dabble, into
Right.
just what I've done, good, the bad, the indifference, and then just regular life stuff.
Okay.
And just be by myself. I'll either write it in a notebook, or I'll type it in my notes, or I'll just get on the booth and I'll just let it out.
Oh,
And
really?
Freestyle.
Yeah.
Really?
Because sometimes within the creative process, there's certain subjects we may want to talk about, but if we write it down and we start reading it, it may get too much for us.
Okay.
So then it's like, I don't want to talk about that right now. But sometimes when you
So to make you hold back a little bit.
so when it comes to you and you want to talk about it, it's just go in there and it's dark and you just let it out and you just give it to the mic and then you just hear it back.
Wow.
But now it's done.
So how long would you say it takes to write a piece? Like, can you do it in one setting, or is it something that you start off and then you go back maybe a couple of weeks later to finish it off?
Oh, every piece has its own period and
Okay.
time. There's some pieces, or when you're in a session, you can bang it out
Okay.
in one sitting, 30 minutes, whatever, how long. But then there's other times when
You can write a song in 30 minutes?
for sure,
That's
a talent.
amazing.
for
I
sure.
know.
For sure.
Chuck, I can't even write a shopping list in 30 minutes.
If the creativity is in the room
Right.
and it's right, for sure. And even if you're by yourself, well, I spend a lot of time in my own studio just by myself.
Okay.
And that process may be longer because it's like I'm looking at it, I'm walking away, I'm doing other stuff, but I'm getting it done.
And then with your own studio, you don't have to pay for studio time.
Oh yeah, and I
so
can
that you
charge
can just
people.
take your own time.
I can
Right.
charge them.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So it's just never quitting and not quitting.
Never
You
quitting.
know.
That's
What
our
was
theme.
what was the first song you wrote?
The first song I wrote was actually with one of my brothers. It was called "No More Pain,"
Okay.
and that's on this album Second Chances. And we just worked on it. And it was at a time where I was given an ultimatum.
Okay.
Somebody by the name of Jay Major. Shout out to Jay.
Shout out to Jay Major.
Yeah, he told me.
Hi, Jay Major.
He was somebody who told me that I had something, and he said, you can either try to pursue it, or you can go the route that you're going, the acting, and but one door is going to open for the next.
Okay.
And if you just go whichever route, just make it work. And I chose to tap into the music. So I went.
So you act as well?
Yes.
Oh, so you just do it all.
Sing,
I'm
act,
an artist. Yes.
You do?
Yes, all that. Yes.
Oh.
All of it.
I love it. You better say yes to everything. Even if you don't, you better say you do.
No, but I do.
Right.
Right, but you do.
I'm a real
Triple
artist.
you got the slashes in your name.
I'm a real artist to the core. I've studied, still in school, finishing my senior year at New York Film Academy.
Really?
Good.
Oh, that's
So,
awesome. So you've also studied dance. Which genres have you studied?
Jazz, hip hop, ballet, a little bit.
Really?
A little.
You could do a good old powder right to right.
I could do something.
A little kickball change.
Oh, I could get you.
Kickball
I could give you a kickball change, assemble.
Yeah.
We know the lingo.
Yes.
So yeah, I've studied, musical theater. That's when I started getting on the stage was musical theater. Yeah.
So not only you're an artist, you take it serious because I believe that people, I think a lot of, and it's no puns to anybody else because we don't do all that messy stuff because we do that at Shirley House. but it's something to be said for a person who steps into this entertainment world and then say, let me study.
Yeah.
Instead of just saying, you know what, I'm gonna get a bunch of likes and then instead of studying in the on social media and getting people to like you, I'm popular now.
That can't help you once you get on set.
It can get you the job, but it can't keep you the job.
Right.
Yeah, if you don't know the director from the producer, or you don't know the job of these people, they may not even want you. But just because you have some following, you may get in the door.
Right.
And that's all that it can get.
And I think the industry is seeing that now because for a while, if you had 40,000 or whatever likes, they were like, you got the job over somebody who's been doing this forever. But then they're like, well, the show's not lasting.
Right.
And stuff is getting canceled.
Right.
Do you know why? Because they have not studied. They don't know what the hell's going on.
Right.
And it's just simple things like, do you know what blocking is? Do you know what
upstage, downstage, stage left, stage right?
Thank you.
So
I think that they thought that would equate to viewership, which would equate to dollars, and it has not.
No, it doesn't always.
But I learned. I was lucky. I was blessed and very, very, very fortunate.
Come on, blessed.
To go to an amazing conservatory program called Amazing Grace Conservatory in Mid City.
Okay.
And that's where I learned the art of theater. That's where I learned and owned my passion as this is what I want to do.
Really?
I love this. The feeling, the energy, the rehearsals, that excites me. It excites me, and I learned and I got passionate.
Right.
And I never steered away from, no matter where I was, I always made sure I had some type of my art with me.
Right.
Whether I was gone, whether I was here, whether I was doing a show or working on music or whatever, I always have some type of piece of art that I'm working on, that I'm in, that I'm
growing yourself.
Growing.
And
constantly growing.
Yeah, keep
absolutely
yourself in the know of what's going on, and also always pruning and tightening your and I can't even get the words out.
Always working.
Always working. What's going
That's
always
right.
working?
That's right. Always
I'm trying to sound
working.
intellectual. I studied the rest of my SAT words.
Who would you say? Who would be your influencers as far as?
Come on, questions down there.
Oh yeah,
that's Diane Sawyer down there.
Hello.
As far as your, acting and singing, who would you say?
So if we're going the acting, influenced by Denzel Washington.
Okay, come on,
Will
Denzel.
Smith,
okay.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is solid for me.
And people be forgetting about Cuba.
I know they do.
Cuba's amazing.
He really is.
As far as music and singing, singing wise, it's Luther Vandross. That's
ladies and gentlemen, Plop is going to be over now. Let me tell you something. Right here, give me one finger. Luther, that buttery voice. Luther. Don't do that. I told you I was already hot. Don't do that.
Is the air on?
Yeah. So
the air is on.
Dang, maybe because these doors are closed.
Yeah, we felt.
That's all right.
But no, I feel all right now. But I was feeling cool until he hit that little note, and I'm like, what about my makeup?
You good?
Like Madison said,
Right.
Yes.
Yeah,
Is
so-
we live?
Is we live? I was gonna say something else.
I
There's a child
know.
down there.
Right.
No, but Luther Vandross was a huge. It's still a huge
Still.
inspiration. Michael
Unmatched.
Jackson.
Come on,
Prince,
MJ.
You know, Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Okay.
Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, you
Just-
Do
studied.
play
You
any
know.
instruments?
Do I play?
Uh-huh.
Not like all the way through, but I'm teaching myself multiple
Oh.
instruments as well. Yeah.
Really?
You,
Look
you know,
at you.
one of your influences, Prince. He taught himself how to play 30-some instruments.
Exactly.
did.
I'm on the
Self-taught.
way. I'm on the way.
Really?
I'm on the way.
So what do you know how to play thus far?
I could play a little keys.
Come on,
Dibble and
keys.
dabble on
Okay.
the drums. I'm working on the bass.
Really?
Yeah, so-
I always wanted to learn how to play the bass guitar.
Yeah.
I think that's good too that you said that, especially tie into what you said about studying, because a good artist, now it's not necessary to master these things, but a good artist should know a little bit about the behind the scenes.
For
Okay,
sure.
how does the lights work, whatever?
For
Because
sure.
you never
Of
know
course.
what situation you may be in, and also you can also tell how that equates to money when you can tell when somebody is trying to get over on you. Because when you know how these things work, you can say, no, that I know how much that normally should cost. So you know it's good to know that you know some of this instrumentation because you know what you want to hear.
And
You do.
to be completely honest, it's the ones backstage and behind the scenes that you don't see, that you don't know, that are actually getting these checks.
That's
that are,
true.
You
Did
know,
we talk about that with Brandon last
We
week?
did.
Businesses like
Uh-huh.
that, all those people, when he told us that he worked for some very great people, but he said SZA is a person that comes out and thanks every person there,
Yes.
which is
Yeah.
a great thing. And you know, another person I know does that is Patti LaBelle. They know they thank
twin.
you know you the person who and Adele. Thank you for pressing them, but because you know they. You can sing all day long, but if he press the button
you
wrong,
ain't gonna
you're gonna
hear
sound like a fool. But they're not gonna. But they're not gonna post the engineer. They're gonna post the
You.
artist.
Right.
He sounded crazy.
Right.
And that actually happened to Adele one year where she was doing a Grammys or something, and it was like, oh, she didn't sound so and such, and it was like the sound was kind of off, but you know.
Yeah, and if we talking about rap inspiration
Okay.
or
Yes.
just other genres,
Yes, yes.
you know, I gotta really shout out King Nipsey. You
Yeah.
know,
King Nip.
Long live. Huge inspiration to the city, huge inspiration to me being a kid from Inglewood and being around the district and everything. Tupac, you
Of
know,
course.
Definitely.
Kendrick.
I stand Kendrick. Let me tell you
Yeah.
something. I stand for Kendrick. I love Kendrick Lamar.
it gets deep, you know.
It
so
does.
just I'm all about the message. I'm all about the fun, but I'm also about what are you talking about.
All
If
of
you-
them have
Right.
messages
Yeah,
too.
yeah. If you can have all
Well, the
cards.
ones that he mentioned.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You can have the cards, you can have the clothes, the jewelry, and you can talk about that. That's cool. But at the end of the day, what is your message? What are you trying
Right.
to tell these people? You can't
Right.
be telling them, oh, drink lean, do this, do that, do
Right.
that.
Right.
Like, and think that you're gonna still prosper or continue to prosper because you're not providing a
Because that
message
song
to-
gets old.
It
exactly.
does.
You grow up. So
And it also gets unattainable because everybody's not gonna give money, cars, clothes, and hoes.
Exactly.
But everybody can go and get an education. I mean, for real.
And
You know, you can get education. You go get some
everybody
of
got
this.
relationships.
Thank you.
Right.
Go
Everybody
out here and
trying to get
this,
some money.
Right. Buy this property. And
Yeah.
you just, figure out what's going on in the world. That is what that's a lot of what Nipsey talked about.
He
And
did.
Tupac.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kendrick.
And, right.
And Kendrick, the whole West Coast,
The whole West.
Snoop, Dre.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we can keep going all day.
All
can.
day. Do you have some dance influences?
To be honest with you, I don't.
It's just a bonus.
No?
I don't.
You
I
don't?
don't have like real dance influences.
Okay.
Like, there's Chris Brown, there's Michael Jackson. Like
Right.
those people are iconic dancers.
Okay.
But I just look at the work. I like
Okay.
the work.
Okay.
The work of a dancer is so hard. And they don't see. A lot of people don't see, especially these ballerinas and stuff like
Yes.
that, and they're on point. They don't see that you're not in these classes. Your body, you don't know that your body can stretch and move like this.
Yeah.
So it's the whole thing of just coming together and putting a piece and seeing your body move, and that's like, oh.
Shout out to Flyboy Wisdom, the
Yeah.
choreographer. Hey, he was on our show.
shout out.
He was on our
Wisdom.
show. But well, let me ask you this question right here because we like to ask people these questions right here, and I'm sure that you can answer this with no problem. Who is someone that you would really, really, and I'll give you a couple of them since you do a few things.
Okay.
That you would really love to act with,
Okay.
and that you'd really love to do music with.
If acting wise, I would love to work with Cicely Tyson. Yeah.
You know some things. Come on, youngin.
I would love.
You know some things. Come on, youngin.
I would love. Yeah. I would love to work with Cicely Tyson. Cause she's just brilliant, and she's been doing it for so long,
and still doing it.
And she's still going,
and looks
she's
amazing.
graceful.
She is. How old is she? 90-something years old.
She is.
Still booking gigs.
She is.
Yes.
Come on, booking gigs at 90-something years old.
That's what it's about.
And doing it.
And I would just want to take in as much wisdom, like how do you stay in this industry for so long and not lose your entire sanity?
And be relevant.
And people know you, and the work that you're doing, it's actual monumental work that other people cannot do.
Because that's Miss Jane Pittman, ain't it?
Right.
Come on.
Yes,
Yes, it is.
And musically, right now at the moment, that's beside
somebody.
Yeah, but see, you know, when you putting stuff out in the atmosphere,
that's what we asking.
You gotta be very, very specific. And here it is, and because I put it on Twitter about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Eric Bellinger. Yeah, I said I want to work with.
Loco.
That's local. That's local. And I know, and it's working. It's, you know, like I know that, you know, I know certain people that's in his camp, you know, and I'm just making sure that my stuff, that I'm at a point where it's like, oh yeah, we ready.
So it's gonna happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
It will happen.
Absolutely.
It definitely will.
It's gonna be fire.
Yeah. That's
fire.
awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
What is the name of your current project? Is this your only project? Your first project?
No.
Okay.
No. Well, this is the first project that's out at the moment.
Okay.
And you know we're gonna have some release dates coming later on in the show.
All right.
You know if we're lucky. So yeah.
No. If you're blessed and you come on now.
Because you're not quitting.
We're not
Thank
quitting.
Come
We're
on.
not quitting.
Thank you.
I just want to make sure that people want to know.
They want to know.
All right, cool,
they do.
boom.
And they gonna show.
So here it is. So the name of the first project was Second Chances.
Okay.
And the reason why it was called Second Chances was because fresh off of me leaving the military and I was back home getting readjusted, I got into a car accident.
Really?
Yeah, it was a car accident, and I thought like I lost my life. Like I thought I was gone. Like because when I opened, it was just like white lights and then smoke and stuff. But I didn't, and I didn't have any scars visible that I knew of at the time. And I had just started working on music.
Really?
Yeah, and I told my producer, K_.
Hey, K_.
Yeah, he in here.
Shout everybody out.
Yeah. So I told him, I said, look, this.
You the producer?
He, we around.
He was like, "What's happening?"
You know.
Okay.
You K_.
That's
Yeah, you can say
right
something.
here.
Yeah, the studio
We got him in the studio. We live.
Some people to see
He
you.
over here.
Come on, fine chocolate black man.
He working.
And if you can see you,
He working the camera
there you
right
go.
here. Yeah,
There you go.
right there.
Let me get out your way.
Get this one right here.
Yes,
Get
honey,
this
that
one
YouTube
right
right
here.
there.
Boom. Shout out.
K_.
You know.
That's him
So, yeah.
right there.
Right. He was like, "What's up?"
Y'all getting all kind of goodies and stuff
yeah,
today,
for
honey.
sure.
We lit.
We in there. Y'all
We
getting
in
French
here.
lessons.
Yes, we are.
You know, so I told him, I said, look, bro, I want to name the project Second Chances, because I believe that everybody does deserve a second chance.
Everybody.
Now, what you do after that second chance, that's solely up to you, but everybody at least deserves a second chance. And if God
Everybody.
Even Hitler.
Listen.
Everybody deserves. Well, according to God, you get
Listen.
7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 38, 66, 75, and whatever.
So
Right.
everybody, if God, and not to get all spiritual,
You
or
can get as
nothing,
spiritual as you want.
for sure. But if God is graceful enough for us to go through so many things and things happen to us and
better
we're
say
still
it.
here,
Of course.
why can't we reciprocate that same thing to other people?
I agree.
You're
in
supposed
life.
to. That's what Scripture tells you.
And it's-
Hold the
but
man
it-
up back to where he
but
was.
it's hard.
Lest you fall to the same sin. You
But
know,
it's
I know
but
that
it's
God.
hard to do that, and that means putting your pride down.
That's it.
Because a lot of times when you're giving somebody else a second chance, you may be deemed as the weak one. You may be deemed as the stupid one, the punk.
Right.
Like, oh, you stupid for going back to her. You stupid for going back to him. And it's like, but you have no idea
Right.
what this person or whoever or whatever I'm doing. Like, you don't know. So don't speak on my situation.
The reason why people feel that for the most part, because we've talked about this a lot too, is because we live in a cancel culture right now.
We do.
What?
Cancel culture.
Oh, cancel.
And they're ready
Like
to
it's
cancel.
canceled.
Yeah, everything. They
Oh.
cancel
Yes.
everybody. Bye out. You know,
Right.
you want to cancel Michael Jackson. You want to cancel you want to, we're so quick to start dealing with it or whatever the accountability you can hold the person to. We just ready to just cancel people until it's our turn to be canceled.
Well,
And then it's gonna be like, but what happened?
Right.
So that is literally just preventing that, and the whole story of the album, the EP. It was just a journey. It was a journey with me, relationships, mainly relationships. It's that R&B, like.
Good parts, relationships, bad parts, and
It's all
everything.
It's
from
the
A to
indifference.
Z.
It's me.
really?
It's
Are you
me.
in a relationship?
At the moment?
Yeah.
I'm taking it slow.
Okay.
You know.
You're
Okay.
in one?
I'm taking it slow.
You're in one.
No,
He
no.
said he's
I'm taking it slow.
I told you that
You
Diane
can
Sawyer
take-
down there.
I'm
I just
taking-
let it go and went on to the next
I'm
question. But
ta-
Diane
I'm
Sawyer
taking
gonna
this-
get that. Barbara Walters right there. She gonna
I'm
get that
taking
story. Come on, Oprah.
And what
Gail, Gail's like, Robert. Robert, are you in
Right.
a relationship?
I am
Robert?
taking it slow. I am taking it slow for my life.
Is that okay right there? Is that okay, Sacha?
So elusive.
Taking it slow means that you're talking to someone, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Well, no.
Because you
okay.
got to give her something because she ain't
For
gonna let
sure,
it ride.
for sure.
So it's the beginning of something.
It's yeah.
That's okay,
Oh.
Sacha?
Yeah.
Oh, but that's awesome.
Okay.
You know.
Shout out
She gave the approval.
to whomever he is taking it slow with.
You know. So yeah, but Second Chances, it was just the good, the bad.
How many songs are on this EP?
It's 7 on there.
It is.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
Where
7.
can they hear this EP at?
You can hear it on Spotify. You
Come
can
on,
hear it on
Spotify.
Tidal. You can hear it on
iTunes.
iTunes, Apple
On
Music,
Tidal.
Google Play, Amazon Play, any Spanish streaming site. It's everywhere. It's literally everywhere.
It
Do you
is.
have a website?
At the moment, we under construction.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me ask
The
you this question. I
website
want to know
is
this.
under
How come you ain't got no YouTube page?
Right,
So
come on, Alex.
So now listen. Watch this.
Okay.
So this is the life of an independent artist.
Okay.
You know, when that's all funding, and you got to have certain things. And me being a student, I've been stretched a lot.
To get a YouTube page
No,
on?
it's
Well,
not. It's
maybe
the
one that you
content.
want.
It's
Okay,
the
got it.
content.
Oh.
Got
There's
it.
a there's a certain way and a certain aesthetic that it has to look. It has to be from every
I
video.
feel you on
and that's
that.
why because that's a lot of questions that I get from my people is why don't you have any music videos out?
Okay.
And it's because the way I want to do it is not there yet.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm coming.
So it's a plan.
I'm coming so big. They're gonna be like, whoa.
Okay.
Like it's not just music
not
videos.
quitting?
It's movies.
'Cause
When
you're
is
not
it,
quitting.
so
'Cause I'm not-
when do you foresee that happening?
Oh, well, you guys can expect the first video dropping in August.
Okay.
August.
So you're working on
August
yeah.
2019. Do you have
August
what's going to be
2019.
the single for that?
Oh, that's actually we can segue.
We can segue.
Yeah.
Come
Can we
on,
segue?
segue.
Yeah.
This is going to be the
Well.
first single coming up right here. Am I doing it right?
Let's
This is going to be
segue.
the first single coming up right here. You're going to be seeing the video in August of 2019. The
From
name
Alex
of the song.
Wakeen.
Oh yeah. The name of the song is called Levels, produced by Theo.
Theo.
You know, it's called Levels.
level.
Alex Wakeen, AWE is in the building.
Yes, we'll be right back after
Yeah.
Levels. I'm like,
And we are back with Alex Wakeen as
Yes.
our special guest this evening.
Yes, he is.
We
Everybody
hope
say
you
hi to
all
Quan.
been
Hi,
tuning in.
Quan.
What up, Quan?
Oh, hi, Quan.
Big homie Quan
you
to
were gonna
take
be
over.
here tonight,
Happy
Quan.
Wednesday night. Where that Arizona?
I
Where the
know.
Arizona?
At?
I need the mucho mango.
Yeah.
I need the mucho mango. You feel
I'll be
me?
missing you, honey. I'm sorry, Sacha, what were you saying?
I was saying that
She was
if
bringing you back
anybody
in.
would like to give us a call and speak with Alex, the number is 310-910-9676, extension number 1.
That's his number tonight.
That's my
That's
number
the
tonight. Y'all
number
better hit it while you can.
Hit it while you can.
Theo. Actually, Theo is on here. Shout out to Theo, bro.
Hi,
Shout out to
Theo.
Theo.
Yes. This is the portion of the show where we do our flip and rotate.
All right.
And we're actually
right.
still going to be talking to Alex Wakeen. He's still going to be
Oh,
here
yeah,
with
I'm
us
still here.
for the duration.
I'm still here.
This is our other host. He's not going anywhere at
come
all.
on with the duration.
Don't worry, ladies. He's still with us.
Oh, man.
And so, we're not going to do too much because he said he just wants to sleep tonight.
I'm trying to go to sleep.
We're going to do our flip and rotate. And in case people who are, some of their friends are just joining us or may have just joined in with us and may not know. You hear that sound right there?
Mm-hmm.
You do? That's the pillow.
That's the pillow.
You flipping them.
We flipping them.
We
We
are.
flipping them and we're
Flip that
cleaning
thing.
them off.
Clean them off.
So we are going to try to see if we can flip some of these situations and rotate some of these situations and see if we can come on the other side of it. You think we can
On
do
the
that?
up and up, right? On the.
Does anybody have anything they want to speak about first? It's just a couple of things. You have anything you want to speak about first, Sacha? Or are you good with anything?
Well, you know, I was
Go
really
ahead, baby.
touched by this, the young lady in the Bronx, the high schooler, who committed suicide. Her name is Maya Vizcarrando Rios.
Come on, say it again.
Okay, I can't do it again. I
I
ain't that
love it,
great.
girl.
But if it
Yes,
was
you
in
are.
French, we would ask our beautiful
Miss
guest
Aurelie,
here, right?
Or alive.
To do it, right. But this young lady, she was a high school student
She was.
in the Bronx. And
16.
16 years old. And she was bullied relentlessly for about 5 or 6 months
Yeah.
at her school. And she was actually sexually harassed at school. And,
Oh, I'm sorry. I need to laugh.
and she was, as a result... It was so many things, though, that disturbed me about this story because you're hearing so much about
many things.
suicide with high schoolers. I never really remember that happening in my day growing up. We were bullied, but I don't know. We just took it or handled it differently. But today, it seems
got your people
to
to
be
come down. Who
going
did
really
it?
extreme. And it's becoming really common that people are really just killing themselves because they cannot handle it. But while she was there, she was sexually assaulted at the school by 2 young boys. She told the school what happened. But the school didn't relay the information to her parents.
Right.
And for whatever reason, sometimes kids don't always confide in their parents what's going on.
They don't.
But the school should have gone and let them know what happened, but the school did not let them know what happened.
They did nothing.
They did nothing.
The principal, guidance counselors, nobody
No
did
one.
nothing.
Did
They sent her back to
anything.
class.
Right. They sent her back
Heard.
to class, but then at the end of the day, she actually left school earlier that day.
She did.
Did the teachers or the principals believe her when she told them, or was it kind of like a brush off?
They just sent her back to class.
They sent her back to
They told her
class.
we'll look into it.
Right. Right. But her cries for help were ignored. She finally went back home one day. She left school early and she had her backpack on and she walked right up to the top of the building at where she was staying.
34th floor.
Yeah, 34th floor, and she jumped. Still had her backpack on. And of course, the parents now are suing the school because they didn't have any information about what was going on with her. No one told them anything because, of course, as a parent, I want to know that this has happened to my child.
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to tell me that information because my child may not be upfront with me, but if she has informed you, you're
responsibility.
obligated to tell me. So, of course, the parents are in a lot of pain. I'm sure
Lots
her
of pain.
friends and family, they're really hurting about this. And for the kids who are being bullied, like I said, I always ask my son at school, are you bullying anyone?
And we've been talking about this, and you said
Is
that.
anyone bullying you? Because it goes both ways.
Yeah.
I don't want you to bully anybody, because if you do,
Right.
I'm on you, and he knows that.
Yeah.
But I also
He got a
need
mother,
to know.
he got aunts, he got a
Right.
father, he got people that gonna be like, you don't do that to people, because you don't want to be you don't want also your child to be the cause of some child
You
anguish.
You don't. And
Not
the
like
young
that.
men who sexually assaulted her, one of them left the school. His mother pulled him out and took him to another school, I guess, not to be subjected to what was going on over there. But I don't recall what happened to the other young man.
I didn't
if he's
hear.
still
I didn't
there.
see what happened either. But I know
Okay.
that if we're messing with one of mine, it's not a hill you can climb or a rock you can get up under. If you mess with one of mine, that I can't find.
Right.
Transfer to the school ain't gonna do it, sugar.
No.
You can laugh. We laugh.
Right.
Because I'm telling you the truth. But
sure.
this story was very disturbing. Gosh, it was horrible. But she did, like as you said, she did jump and she left school early. And when she went home, her father was home. Actually, he didn't even know that she was home.
Right. Her father was home.
And they said, and she adored her father. She had a great
did.
relationship with her father.
She had an
but
awesome
she did not
relationship.
tell her father what happened. He said that day she left for school, she was excited about a performance that they were going to do, and the assault happened that same day in the auditorium.
Yes.
Where the kids were unattended and unsupervised, and two boys forced her to have oral sex with them.
Right.
The kids made fun of her. They bullied her physically. They pulled her hair and talked about her. She was reporting this for 5 months.
Right.
And the school said nothing at all. This was she was an
nothing.
honor roll student.
She
had
was.
perfect attendance. Her father got on her because he says, "Why are you missing classes?" The school, and she said she was having trouble in a couple of her classes.
That was her excuse.
The school called the parents to talk to them about her attendance, not even about the damn bullying.
The assault, right.
They talked to her about her attendance, and this is the crazy part. They said, well, from now on, she's going to have to sign herself in and out of class, every class she attended. So her parents are like, well, how come y'all didn't know she is required to sign in and out? How come y'all didn't know she was gone?
Right.
The parents are suing the school. They're suing the administrators.
They are.
They're suing the district.
As they should.
As they should.
They should.
They said this young lady was crying for help. And what happened the day before she committed suicide, one of her friends went to the counseling office and told them what was going on. The counselor came and visited Miss Maya in one of her gym classes. And she wrote down on a card for the parents to watch out for emotional distress.
Right.
She never told the parents. That piece of paper never made it to the parents. So, just like Sacha said, one of the boys was transferred and one of the guidance counselors was fired. The school is not making any statements. And this principal, Carrie Alfano, that's her name, and they did nothing.
Nothing.
They did absolutely nothing. So it's like when you send your and it's unfortunate because when we send our children to school, they are with the teachers longer than they are with your parents. They're with the teachers 8 hours out of the day. By the time they come to y'all after school, studies, and they going to sleep.
Right.
So you're entrusting your children into the care. This is why people are so cautious about who they leave their children in care with.
Right. Sure. Some.
Come on, because you have to be able to say, I need for you to care for my child just as much, or not, if not more than how I would.
Right.
Yeah.
But for this to be going on for 5 months and for her request to be ignored, and it's like, we'll just investigate it, we'll take a look into it, and for nothing to happen, this baby felt hopeless. And if y'all felt like y'all couldn't do nothing, the least y'all could have did was told her parents.
And I wonder that too, though. Why she spoke with the counselor, she informed the school, but I just wonder, what was she think? Why couldn't she go to her parents about the assault?
Well,
just wondering.
This was in the Bronx. Quan said, "What city?" This is in the Bronx, New York.
Bronx, New York.
You know, I don't know because, I'm only guessing here, but I'm thinking because the nature of the bullying with it being a sexual assault, maybe she felt like she would get in trouble.
Okay. Yeah.
Maybe she felt, or maybe there was there was a thing where she felt like she would be disappointing them because of what they did.
Right.
It wasn't just like it was a sexual assault.
It was.
And so a part of, and she's 16, she's confused, she don't know what to do.
Right.
So it kind of makes you. A few weeks ago we talked about a woman who was
the mother
here in Newport,
in Orange County.
Right. Who went before? You saw the one. She went before the classroom, and she told all the children in there. Because it was boys sexually assaulting her daughter.
Right.
Or sexually bullying.
Yeah.
I don't know if they assaulted her yet. And to the point where the mother came out, when she was dropping her off, didn't want to get out the car. She was crying, and she said talking about suicide because of what was going on. Mama parked the car and got out in front of the class and said, listen.
Right.
Not with mine, you won't. So can you? She
saved
her child's life.
She did.
She saved her daughter, and it was basically similar to the situation
there. Well, the parents.
She threatened. She told them, y'all, tell your mamas to see me.
Right.
Leave her alone. She even told them if it had been girls doing it, I wouldn't even say that. I would tell her handle your business. But y'all boys, and it's more than one of y'all.
Right.
Leave my daughter alone.
And she did right.
She did exactly right. She saved her child's life.
Yeah.
She did. And you do hear stories of parents who step in, and maybe some people feel that it was extreme because they did have some parents who thought what the lady did was extreme with stepping in and they felt the language she used was inappropriate.
She just said fuck.
Sometimes you gotta use a couple of cuss words.
You talking about cussing in public?
To get your point across.
She was in public cussing.
So I excused her for using those, expletives
in
public. But she needed that. She needed to do that because
and they banned her from the school.
They did.
They banned her from the school.
But I think though now they may have.
They may have at the time.
At the time they did.
She was
they
banned, and people kept the kids out of school. There was like some of the people kept the kids out of school, but majority of the parents said they kept the kids out of school because they were in support of her, and they said, and when you lift that ban off of her, we'll bring our kids back. It wasn't because we're scared of what she's gonna do, because they was like, I don't see anything, y'all blowing out of proportion. I don't see anything wrong with what she did,
and there was nothing wrong with what she did.
Nothing, and I think it was.
I would have done the same thing.
Of course,
probably worse.
And also to the parents of the young lady who was a friend with Maya, who stepped in and said, y'all, you know what? Let me go to the counselor myself, because y'all ain't doing nothing. Listen, something's going on with my friend. Y'all need to help her. Shout out to her parents for telling her, you see something, you say something.
You say something, for sure. For sure.
Instead of this whole stance of minding my business.
Right. I don't want to say nothing.
I'm not no snitch.
Right.
It's unfortunate too, because it's with these schools. It's another young man, Michael Perrin, in Philadelphia, young baby, 7 years old. He has Down syndrome. He was sent home last week with 2 facial fractures, a swollen eye that was swollen all the way shut and leaking, and lacerations on his face.
So that's from the daycare, right?
Getting off the bus, they said the bus aide, the school, and the bus driver said he fell off the bus. There's video because there's also video surveillance, but the school is like, we're not showing nobody no video. Get a subpoena. You have to see this baby's face.
No, I haven't.
But there's been it's garnered a lot of attention. Tiny posted it, MJ Rodriguez posted it, Cardi B posted it, because the school is not doing nothing. They're like, oh, if you want to see something, get it. But he has Down syndrome, so the mother is like, it looks like he was beat up.
Of course,
and he has, and because of his, him being special needs, why wasn't he helped off the bus if he failed?
Right, because they should have.
They need answers. Yeah. And it took him it took 3 days for his eye to even start opening. 7
That's
years
horrible.
old. And the crazy part about it is the family doesn't know what happened because he can't talk.
Right.
So he can't tell them what happened.
He can't say anything. That's horrible.
And everybody's like, he fell.
Yeah, see, that's the time that you go up. Yeah, you act a plumb fool.
Complete.
Just to get it out.
Right.
Complete.
Sometimes you gotta
so his brother's older brother, he took to Facebook and was like, he posted it everywhere, like, we need answers. So that's how I started getting trending and going on with
Right. Gaining some traction.
Gaining some traction. Come on, help me out down there.
Come on,
Diane. But yeah, it's like, I mean, you can't. Do people got homeschool? Like, you can't send your child to school and they come back in the same condition you sent them there in?
It's rough now. Like, it really is.
Y'all don't care about these people's kids?
No.
I don't know.
A
lot of teachers do, though.
A lot of teachers do.
A lot of the people who work in any type of sector, they do. There are some good people. But then you do have some who are really lax on the job, and it's just a paycheck.
It's just a paycheck.
They don't really care.
And then it's like, but these kids, not even so much just teaching them, it's just their lives. You can hear these kids getting beat up and dying, and they're not asking you to go out there and save the day. They're just saying, could you please just do something about these people harassing me, or bullying me?
Right.
And we've seen enough kids taking their own lives to say something needs to be done. And the unfortunate part about the situation in Bronx is that the school district spent $8 million on an anti-bullying campaign.
Well,
guess it didn't work.
Guess it didn't work. Training and everything.
Back to the drawing board.
Right.
New plan.
Somebody put $8 million in their purse. Because I'd like to know. I mean, you can give me half of that, and I can give y'all some training on anti-bullying.
You can give me a quarter.
Come on. A quarter? He don't even want. You gonna underbid me?
Yeah. with that money for sure.
I mean, what is the point? Why do you need to spend that much money? Because that much money is not saving lives. Spend some time. That's invaluable by telling people, leave people alone. Stop bothering people. Because like you said, growing up, bullying is not a new concept. But
It's
they're
not.
doing it a whole different kind of way now.
And
They are.
To the extreme.
Like I said,
I don't
I
recall
was
people-
bullied.
I don't recall people being, people get bullied, but being made to perform oral sex, I didn't, that kind of bullying, I'm like, what y'all doing?
Yeah, that's different.
Who raising y'all?
Not to say it didn't occur.
No,
I just don't remember.
Right.
Maybe with some of those stories of being bullied that way, but I think everybody's gone through a point of bullying. But back then, you just handled it.
You handled
if you're gonna
it. Or you got some
doing
people to handle it for you.
You did.
But
You
you talked
did.
to somebody.
Yeah,
You didn't
but
just-
you know there was more. There was more of a communal situation because even if you did do some bullying, if we in a situation where A+ may be bullying one of us, our mama know his mama, and they're gonna say something. You down there bullying, so you so and so boy. I know you. Get yourself together and knock a so and so off. And let me tell. But now you can't say nothing to nobody's kids. They don't want you to say nothing to them. You can't do nothing.
go
People
to jail.
like you said, they was like, I'm gonna mind my business.
Right.
If that
Right.
kid over there, though you may not be your child, that is your business. Because that could very well be your child.
It absolutely could.
Child. Dominican Republic, honey. 'Cause I can go on about that all
Dominican.
night.
Yeah, the DR. I don't know if I'm going to that particular resort, but they have
It's
been
life and death chances. What's going on? At the same resort?
the
That
same,
sound like a-
same one.
That sound like a
resort.
setup.
It's the same one.
It is, of course. It's the
Sound like
same.
a job over
Sound
there.
like
that's
the
going on.
island
What's
off of
happening?
Scooby-Doo.
You s-
Sound like what?
You know that island off the Scooby-Doo movie?
No.
They don't come back the
well,
same.
and the DR.
What's going on in the DR?
At this particular resort, and chime in to help me out, but they
You got-
have thus far reported at least 6 deaths.
It's 6?
Yes, it's 6.
Oh my lord.
I read
okay.
this morning it was 6.
6?
Deaths
I
from
didn't
the
know
same,
it was 6.
all related to the same resort where people have passed away. So
Didn't they plant some pills in somebody's room or something?
it's been so many crazy things that have been happening over there. But yeah, I think here, of course, it would be absolutely different. That would have been shut down in the U.S. because our
Completely.
regulations are so
Completely.
different.
That's not like an operation.
Yeah, something is definitely happening
Yeah.
over there. But it's been at least 6 people. That's the last that I read this morning.
And the officials are not doing any kind of investigation.
No, they are not.
Let me tell you something. We say this all the time when we talk about different, areas in the world. Everywhere doesn't work like the United States.
It doesn't.
The laws
Say
ain't
what
the
you
same.
want. We
Say
got
what
some
you want.
issues
Say
what-
here
Thank
at the
you.
U.S., but guess
it's
what?
worse when you cross that water.
Come on.
Yeah.
When you cross that water, it's a whole
I don't think
nother
it's any
story.
other place I would want to be.
I did.
Given everything else that's going on.
Quan said, did you hear about David Ortiz getting shot in the deer? Oh, I did hear
did.
about the in the
I
amusement
did.
park. What is the amusement park? He got shot and it was on video, but they
Yes.
don't want to show the video.
Yes.
They don't want something else.
No.
No.
Even the when they for the couple who passed away or one of the
Yeah, it was a couple
It was
who
like
passed
the fish that they don't want to release any kind of autopsy or something like that.
No.
I'm like, how do you just do? No, but they have to release their body to the family of the U.S. Don't
Oh
they?
yeah, they
Yes.
gotta come back.
So they can do their own here.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's like, but the law here may not hold up the law there.
Of course it's not, because it's totally different areas. It's not.
That's unfortunate. I was also reading too about a lady who was another couple who was on the resort, and one lady survived one of the attacks. She was going to get something to eat, and they were on the resort. So her husband's like, she went by herself, nothing, thinking nothing of it. Her husband's like, okay, go ahead, whatever. So she was going out looking for something to eat. She got to a party. She said it was empty. Nobody was around or whatever it may be. And she said the last thing she remembered, somebody came behind her and hit her in the head.
Really?
She passed out. She woke up in a ditch. Bloody. She had been raped, obviously, raped or whatever. To the point she couldn't even walk, and she was in the ditch. She crawled till somebody saw her, and then she got help, and she got back to the resort.
And
But it
this
happened
is-
at the resort.
And this has
Somebody
been
hit her
at
in
the Hard Rock Hotel and Casino specifically.
That's here.
And
And that's
Punta
an American.
Cana.
Isn't it American?
Yeah. Well, it's under an American name.
Yeah.
But
But
that's
it
the
still operates
resort
under
in the
their
Dominican Republic.
jurisdiction.
Yes.
I mean, is the what am I looking for?
Is the what?
Oh my lord.
What? What?
I'm about to say the United Nations, child.
Oh,
The
Ambassador.
You getting close.
The Prime Minister?
No.
Oh,
y'all know I'm trying to say.
I know what you're trying to say, but it can't come.
The American representation in the embassy.
Right,
embassy.
right.
Can the embassy step in or something? I'm like, what?
I don't know if anything can be done.
Because whenever you have an embassy on any foreign ground, they operate as though you are in wherever your country you're from.
Right.
So the embassy in DR for United States would be United States, considered United States property.
Right.
Can they?
May have to go to the embassy.
Can they step in and do, or have some sort of? Because it can't just
You
go
would
in as
think-
be it.
Well, I don't. I know that I saw that they were trying to interview the owner on television. And of course, he was, no questions, no questions.
Right.
I'm not accepting any
Definitely.
questions. And this has been at least 6 deaths in a year, though.
In a
at
year.
One resort. Resort.
Come on, resort.
One resort. Yeah, this at one resort. Uno. The same one.
Stuck on resort. I'm like, yes, man, I love it.
And there was another gentleman, and people have now been coming forward too with their stories because some people have returned from that resort and got ill and died. So people are
was somebody drinking some bleach or something?
Somebody said they had a drink from the minibar in their room.
So don't go to
Took
the DR.
ill and died suddenly.
Wow.
Yeah. So,
and then the couple, they said it was some blood pressure, unopened blood pressure
Yes.
medicine. But the family, their family is like, no, because they wasn't on blood pressure pills. So
right.
no.
They had the same medication.
So they had the same medication. But but both of y'all had the same. Come on, respiratory for both. That's not contagious.
No, it's not.
What is that?
It's not.
Y'all not even. They're not even working enough. They be like, we can just say anything, child. They just blood pressure.
They
whatever.
don't care.
They don't care.
It's just a brush under the rug.
And they know that nothing's gonna happen. But what? So the only thing you can do right now is just say, don't go.
Right. Bring your attention. Bring awareness to it. Like
and
we're
don't
saying,
go. Because I know that
there.
they depend heavily on tourism.
Sure.
And if nobody's going, guess what? There's no
nobody.
coin. There's no coin to coming in.
Right.
No coin to coming in.
I remember it was another couple who went there that they interviewed. They said they ended up, as soon as they got there, the room had this really, really strong chemical smell in it. And the husband and wife said, this smell, this isn't normal. They actually left. They checked out. They came back to the U.S. They went to the hospital, and the doctors told them, well, if y'all would have stayed there overnight, y'all wouldn't have made it. You would have died there in the DR. Yeah.
Inhaling it.
Yeah. Inhaling. Yeah. But they said it was so strong that they both just couldn't tolerate the smell. It was just a strong chemical smell, but they ended up leaving.
God bless them because they didn't even try to get another room. They just said, we're going
No,
to
right.
We out of here.
You know,
like,
can we get another room?
No.
Yeah, another room at home.
Right. Right.
In your own bedroom.
At
They
home.
They said, you will
They
not
left.
leave.
Immediate, expeditiously.
Expeditiously.
Yeah, they were gone. They quit.
They didn't
quit.
give up on them.
Right.
They didn't give up on them. Jeez.
Right.
Oh, my Lord.
That's scary.
It is.
So we're not going there, Deshon. That's
No.
not going to be our next trip.
I saw somebody post, it was so funny. I saw somebody post, the internet has no chill. Somebody posted online, this girl was like, I've been to the DR five times in the past 4 months and did A, B, and C, and nothing ever happened to me. And somebody told her, you probably the killer. Who goes to the DR 5 times in 4 months? Who goes to the DR 5 times in 4 months? I was like, you know what?
You better check her facts.
Check her. Come on.
You better check her.
Wow.
Who you over there seeing that much, girl?
Right.
But anyway, so we want to flip and rotate. So I guess at the end of the day, we got to watch our children.
Right.
And watch who's watching our children.
Yep.
Right.
And if something feels right, if it feels wrong, and you somewhere, get up out of there and pause right now on trips to the DR.
Right. And people have been canceling their
You
trips.
have all the permission in the world to quit that trip.
Right.
Go somewhere else. Go somewhere else.
Don't quit your vacation. Just
Go
somewhere
somewhere.
else.
Go down south.
Somewhere.
Right.
Go somewhere local. Anyway, can we do another song before we get into our subject?
We can.
Yeah, let's do
One
it.
more song. So what
One
song
more
is
song?
it? Come on, give us the
Let
song,
me see.
baby.
So this next song, it's called "Stay With Me," and this.
When did you write this song?
I wrote this a couple years ago.
Couple years ago.
Yeah. It's just,
Okay, and this is on Second Chances?
this is on Second Chances,
Okay.
and this is basically just me and talking about my mom, and anybody who has lost someone.
Your mother's transition?
My mother's transition.
Mine too.
Hey, we here with it. We here with it. You know.
Oh my God,
So
Alex, you were not supposed to come out here and make me cry. Don't do this.
Hey man, well, it's
Don't do this.
It's just
but
telling.
Please, but play the song.
But it's about it's giving a message of don't quit. You know what I'm saying? Like even though your backbone or you feel that your backbone is gone, you can still fight on and you can still do everything that you said you were gonna do. And we doing it. So without further ado, this is Stay With Me. It's your boy Alex Wakeen. AWE is in the building.
And that was Alex Wakeen, another song from him, from our guest in the studio with us this evening. And that song was called Stay With Me, and he was giving us a little background about the inspiration. Alex, you want to continue to fill us in on why this was so inspirational and about a little bit more about your mother?
Oh, yeah. Well, this is inspirational to me because this was my message to my mother, basically letting her know that I'm hurting, that I miss her, that I wish that she was here, but also that I'm going to keep going. She passed away April 11, 2012, to a disease called sarcoidosis. And just over the years, trying to do research and finding stuff, came across and found out that Bernie Mac also passed away from the same disease. But a lot of African Americans don't know about it and aren't aware that this is something that can consume you. So my efforts is just charity events leading to research for sarcoidosis. So there's more knowledge and more books out there. Sarcoidosis is basically an immune system disease where basically your internal organs deteriorate from the inside and you lose nerves and you're just very weak and you're losing weight, so much weight, and it's consuming your whole entire life and body from the inside out. And you're just in pain and you're watching it, you know? But we just kept fighting because that was one thing that she told us was, keep fighting. We're all we got. My siblings, and I. She made sure that no matter what, we always had each other. Even though we may fuss or we may fight, and that was her message. So even though she's gone, I'm still trying to find ways of keeping her legacy alive and even opening up and telling her story, because she did so much stuff. Like, she was one of the first exterminators. Bob's Bugs or something like that. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Mama was tearing them up.
She was, but not even just that. It was just seeing the work and the efforts of, a single mother raising kids, a foster mother at that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So she, we just had a family, and it was always work hard. Like, everything else is gonna come. So that's always Stay With Me is my special tribute to her. And I said, wherever I go, I'm gonna play that. Like, regardless, I'm gonna play that. Because that's to her, let her know, like, look,
that was beautiful.
A couple years ago, this was just an idea, like, but working and getting feedback and even hearing negative feedback, good feedback, you can't do this, or you need to change people, and it's like, nah, I know what I'm curating. My team is solid.
Come on.
My team is solid. We good, and we working together, and we working to this. So when that door, which is right here, is getting knocked down.
It is.
It's getting knocked down.
And you hear her. Because my mom is my angel, too.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
She transitioned as well. But you can hear them in your head. You can hear them. You remember the things that they say. And it keeps going. Yeah. And then I believe that it gets reinforced when you're able to have mother figures.
Yes.
Like Mama Ann's, her mom. You hear them, and you're like, and even if you don't express it out loud, you're like, oh, my mama would say that. Okay, I hear you.
That's for sure.
You, Carol. I hear you.
That's for sure. And the village, that's the village. I call those people the village. I have a lot of my friends from school, from high school, college. The conservatory, their mothers have stepped up and kind of like said, hey, I'm gonna look out for you. Like, you gonna be
which is beautiful.
So that's my village. So shout out to my village.
Shout out to my village.
And Sister Meredith, that's my spiritual guy. You have them out there.
You have to, absolutely, because they keep you sane. They really keep you sane, and you see the love, and you can feel the love, and it's like, whoa, this feels good. Like,
it does.
It feels good.
You know, tonight's topic is don't quit. And I remember being in, junior high school, and I remember my typing teacher. She was this excellent black woman who people was like, oh, she's so mean, but she was like one of the greatest people in the whole wide world, and she made us memorize. Where's the typing class? It had nothing to do with typing, but she made us memorize the poem Don't Quit. And I always kept that with me. And it is a poem by what's his name? Richard Greenleaf Whittier.
That's a name.
That is his name.
Right.
From the 1800s. And everybody has probably heard this particular poem, but I will do one stanza of it.
Yeah.
Well, come on.
I will do one stanza.
Come on, stanza.
Oh, is it right there?
Oh yeah.
Right.
We in a
When
poetry.
things go wrong, as they sometimes will, when the road you're traveling seems all uphill, when the funds are low but the debts are high, when you want to smile but you have to cry, when life starts pressing you down a bit, rest if you must, but don't you quit. Don't you quit. I remember the rest of it too, but I'll just say that I don't want to take too much time into it. But that has, and it just keeps on. And earlier, before we went on the air, Alex had asked, he was talking, he was like, when he was talking about the subject matter, he was like, oh my God, it was right on time. And it's always been a running theme of just from different people from different directions, always telling either Sacha or I, oh my God, we ever talk about something, be like, right on time. And they asked a question like you asked today, how do you guys come up with the topics? And I told you, what I tell you?
Said it just flow out. It just,
the Holy Spirit.
It just comes.
It just comes. He was like, we don't sit there and be like, what should we talk about? It just comes, this has to be. We have a good time. We cuss, fuss, whatever the case may be. But this has to be a ministry.
Yeah.
Because this particular podcast, even though we do our own thing, it don't belong to us. It belongs to something higher than us.
Yeah.
Right.
And ministry doesn't mean we just in there, playing tambourines and playing, but.
Talking
Ministry
about
just
it.
means serving people.
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing. We serving free.
Right.
That's right.
So that's where this particular topic came from. And it was on time for both of us. Tonight's topic, don't quit.
Don't quit. So you
Because our show was about to.
Come on.
tonight.
Why was you about to quit?
Well, I mean, as far as it was a lot going on. We have an extra guest in the evening this evening.
Yeah.
And usually my extra guest is situated somewhere.
Right.
But it's some things that's going on right now. But I'm gonna keep pushing through and
I'm
not
glad
quit.
you pushed through.
Right.
She was like, you know what, I'm just going here. And I was like,
yeah,
Don't
this
quit.
ain't gonna work because I already know dealing with 3-year-olds, they require a lot. And they can
shout out to Orly though.
That's been amazing.
She didn't say that. She saved my French.
Right, she saved the day.
You are the savior of the day, honey. I'm telling
I
you the
sure
truth.
was quitting. Oh, my Rugrat, look. Say hi, Rugrat. But sometimes tonight was just one of those nights where it was just like, you know what? Oh my God, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to make it through this evening and trying to do what I'm supposed to do on air and tend to my 3-year-old. Yeah,
But you're
because
doing it.
somebody is watching online though, who was supposed to be watching somebody for me tonight. But that's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right. We didn't quit.
We didn't quit.
We-
Because
we
when she
kept
told me
going.
that, she texted me because she didn't want to be rude to anybody. I went out there and I was like, why? Why? Girl, come on in here and do what we gonna do. We at Plop. We gotta do till we can do something differently. But we have to.
Hello.
But the thing about the quitting, what people don't understand is an urge.
Yeah.
Right.
And
Right.
every victorious person, every soldier, every warrior, every winner has thought
Right.
about quitting.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yes.
Every time.
Yeah.
Every time.
It's an urge.
It is. It's an urge.
Whether it's physical, whether it's mental, whether it's emotional, whether it's spiritual, it's always something. And
It
you
is.
and you talking about the soldiers, like
Come on.
coming and seeing how they are and what they do. Like they carrying 75 pounds of luggage on their back with full weapon and running at full speed.
And having to be aware of
And
what's
having
around
to
you.
exactly and risking lives and still trying to save lives.
And watching their friends drop off on the side of them.
But they're-
Because you
and-
know this,
Yeah.
Army vet. Come on.
I say, You know, 13 Bravo, lead the way.
Yeah.
King of battle, follow me.
All
you know,
right, all right.
Shout out to all my red legs out there.
So you know what you speak.
Yeah, it's always a battle of not quitting, because you can get succumbed with your own personal thoughts about how you feel.
Right.
You can get succumbed with everything that everybody else is talking about towards
Come
what
on.
you're doing.
Yeah.
And then you can just get succumbed with how will people respond to it. Like if I put myself out and be completely vulnerable that I want to do, and people don't receive it, or they say that it sucks. Like there's your battle.
Right.
You know, and some people will be like, well, it's just easy for me to just stop it right here, but you're not reaching your call. Like, you're not reaching where you got to go, because if you're reaching that, you got to face those. You got to overcome those.
You have to overcome.
It's a battle. Like, it's always, don't quit, keep going. Like,
Was there ever a time that, like, a really, really pressing situation where you just wanted to throw in the towel and quit and never continue to do whatever this was that you were pursuing?
As far as the acting, acting wise and performing, I never wanted to quit that. Like, I know I'll be somewhere on somebody's stage. Like, I always know that. Now the music, for me, because it opened up a different side.
Okay.
You know, because now I'm actually talking about my life. Like, I'm not playing a character of somebody.
Okay.
Right.
You know, like I'm not playing, like, this is my real.
It's personal in that
Yes,
sense.
like everything that it's personal to the T of, like, I have to tell myself, don't put this person's name, or like, don't be too specific.
Okay.
Because I just feel like I got to get it out. But yeah, I've wanted to quit a lot of times. Like,
Really?
Because it's hard when you feel like you're not getting the support from your friends, your family.
Come on.
You know,
You
it's like,
speaking.
how can I even go through or do all of this if I don't even have the core support?
Right.
You know.
Right.
But that's all within the process. Like, I heard an analogy. It said sometimes people right in front of you don't see that you're a star because you're blinding them, and it's the people who's like behind, like way behind,
Further
that
away.
sees like, oh, that's a star.
Right.
You know, so it's constantly like, okay, if
But it looks like something else up close.
Right.
it just looked like it's a blinding, and people don't understand it. But once you zone in and you tell yourself, like, this is for me, this is my life, this is my journey. You know, people are dying. Like, people are really dying. Like,
They are.
young black men, black women, black children, they're dying. And it's now the time where it's like, yo, do what you want to do.
Right.
Find that one dream that you want to do. And this is for anybody who's listening. That one dream that you want to do, regardless of what anybody says, start where you are.
Right.
Do what you can, and use what you got.
That's it.
That's
To
it.
get what you want?
To get what you want.
That's right.
You know, that was an analogy from the great Bishop Michael Broadus Sr. You know, that's something that
Look,
he
that's
always.
what you was thinking of. I was thinking, use what you got to get what you want. I was
Players
thinking
Club.
Players Club.
But yeah, I hear you, but it's
Right.
still, it's
It fits.
Right.
it's
Either
all
way.
all in the same. Just
does.
don't worry about everything else, because the more time you spend worrying, the more time somebody else who wants the same thing that you want is working.
That's true.
That's it.
And that's why
So you gonna work or you gonna worry?
and that's what the label is, always working
It's got to be.
entertainment. You know, because
that's it.
regardless of what anybody says, if you're always in the mix, whether I'm a stage manager on this show, whether I'm in this show, whether I'm doing a music show, whether I'm doing a poetry, whatever it is,
Or watching a show.
or watching a
Right.
show, or creating whatever it is, as long as I'm working towards my goals and what I want to do,
Right.
nobody else can say, or they can, but I don't have to listen to it.
Right.
Because then once you say, oh, you're not doing this, okay, well, now let me show you.
Let me show you.
And it's like, oh, you really.
But see, that's the key right there. But people don't realize that the only way to get rid of the opposing thoughts is to replace them with a positive one.
Right.
I just got done reading Battlefield of the Mind by Joyce
Meyer. Come on now.
Not Joyce Meyer.
Yes. Pastor Joyce Meyer.
And
You
that
better
was-
come on.
But that was,
The Battlefield of Mind. That's
It was-
that's heavy.
and it's heavy because what we're saying is we're about to change our thinking. We're about to say like, okay, I don't want to think negatively anymore. Like I want all my thoughts to be of substance, of increase, of growth, and that's pushing down my walls, my barriers of pride, and leaving me vulnerable to people. To everybody, it's like if they see you for who you are, they now can give you an honest judgment of how they view you. Some people's not gonna like you. Some people's not gonna,
and
like
that's okay.
And that's okay.
And that's okay.
It's meant.
It's gotta be okay.
It's meant. It's meant for you not to like me. Like that's your job. Your job is to not like me.
Some people are sent here to strictly oppose you.
Right.
Do know that.
Right.
They're strictly here to do that. And it's amazing that you said that because the battlefield is in the mind.
Yeah.
It is.
It's not outside of what this person said to me.
No.
It's you
but
versus
the
you.
battlefield is what do I think about what you said about me?
Right.
What you said only make a difference to me. But what do I think? Am I going to internalize it? Or am I going to work at it?
Right.
And a lot of people don't see that because when somebody comes at them and they expose them, it's like, oh wow, I now have to look at myself.
Right.
And I now have to accept myself. And that's hard. So it's a process. It's a whole process. Like, but once you get on it and you just start, you work whatever works for you of you getting internal with yourself. And that's just something that the art teaches.
Right.
That's something that you will get when you go to conservatories. Like they teach meditation and breathing.
They do.
And how to relax your mind from all these wandering thoughts and just be in the moment.
That's right.
Because you can't, if your mind is everywhere, you're not allowed to be in the moment to even soak everything that's actually happening to you.
No.
Right.
Because you're wandering. You're wandering, you know. But once you get that and once you're like, I'm here, I'm present, you know.
And focus.
And focus. I'm ready to go. I'm alert. I'm seeing you. You know, that causes for good things to happen because now once you're off the stage and now you're in your regular life, you now have that same focus, that same drive.
That's right.
You know?
This has been such an amazing situation. I really
has
love
been.
it.
Oh, man.
We're honored to have you.
I'm honored to be here.
Thank you.
I hope y'all call me back.
Of course,
You're welcome anytime.
I'm glad you said that.
You know?
Anytime,
You
Alex.
glad I said that?
We might be calling you back.
Hey,
Right,
for sure.
right.
Of course,
Hey,
of course.
I got so much music,
Right.
you know, so
Of course
you can
we
call
do.
whenever, and I'm gonna have a pack ready for A+.
I love it. You have any last comments about not quitting?
Let me see. Let me give here it is. Never give up on your dreams, for your dreams can turn into reality.
All right.
Keep your head up, so no one can have the ability to look down on thee. Don't face the fight. Face it head on. Don't be afraid of it. Know that you're powerful than what's trying to succumb you.
Right.
I like
And
that.
you're gonna be straight once you're doing what you want to do in your life and living in your truth and telling your story and not the story of other people or trying to imitate other people. Be true to yourself. Do what you want to do. If you're at a job that you do not want to be at, figure out a way to make it happen till you can do what you want to do. But don't go broke or don't, but just don't quit though. You can make it. We here. Call somebody.
Any words on not quitting, Miss Sacha Granger?
Well, for me,
Because she got something for us.
Today.
No.
Well, it was powerful for me because for the past couple of weeks, I've been juggling a lot, so it has to.
But you still here.
Sometimes you have to push yourself.
Yeah.
Even though you may look to others for support,
but
you just have to stay strong and stay in the pocket for you.
Yeah.
That's right.
Because sometimes you just don't have others to lean on. And
You said something. Come on. I told you had something for us. Go home. Come on.
Come on.
Even though you may want that.
Where's the collection plate?
we
Come on now.
We need support for others, but sometimes you just won't give it, and you have to. You
got to encourage yourself.
Right.
I love it. Let me tell y'all something about this situation. With no support and no money and no knowledge of it, even if you got to be tired and weak,
Right.
even if you got to take classes to do it, if you got to hop along and
Go to
do
school.
it, please keep doing it.
Yeah.
Please keep going. Because I'm gonna tell you something right now that you may not understand, people out there. Every great person has considered quitting at least 100 times a day.
Yeah.
Right.
But you must pull forward, keep going, because something would be missed without either one of you here.
You
We will
absolutely
be
right.
missing something
You are
without you all
absolutely
here.
right.
So
Right.
please know that you are, even if you don't see it right now,
You need
because
it.
I am a firm believer that nobody's looking, but everybody's watching.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Do know that. And I hope they looking and watching that Plop Life every Tuesday at 8 p.m.
Right,
8
right.
p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have
Right.
enjoyed our time.
We
have
have.
been enlightened
Love
with
you.
Mr. Alex Wakeen.
Thank you for
we
having
love
me.
you so very
AWE.
much. Where can
Thank
they reach
so
you at?
much.
You can reach me on Instagram at awakendawg, AWKNDAWG. Follow all that.
Yes, please do, and pick up and please download the
Second Chances
Second Chances
on
you
all
know.
streaming
Chances.
platforms. Stay tuned. Wave Control is dropping in August.
Okay.
So we may come back and do a whole nother exclusive.
Next
We
week
would
on
love that.
we would. Next week on Plop, we're gonna be talking about character, honey.
Yes.
What character do you play in this movie called Life? We will be talking to James Wright Chanel,
Yes.
Andre the Stylist,
Yes.
and Marquise Anthony from
Yes.
Love and Hip Hop Hollywood.
Gang.
That'll be next week. Plop out. Are we plopping
Plop
out?
out. We plopping out.
Plopping
Plop
out.
out.
Peace.
Bye.